Showdown. The fight ended in classic Muay. The fashion Carlos threatened with his signature left cross. Rady had done his homework. He knew he couldn't afford to let that shot land, so he kept his right hand high. This left his liver exposed to the knee strike from the Muay trained Carlos, then finished with a body knockout. Aside from Israel Adisa, UFC fans are also familiar with another native Chinese fighter, Li Jingliang. Known as the Leech, Jingliang has only ever been submitted by Comet Chimaya, and no one has managed to knock him out until he met the fighting nerds. It was a case of calculated domination. The first time Carlos landed his left, it might have seemed like Li just lost his balance, but by the second, then the third knockdown, any doubts were gone. Carlos's cool-headed approach kept him from rushing in recklessly for the finish. With a minute and a half left in the second round, Carlos once again dropped Jingliang with surgical precision, watching almost indifferently as he climbed back up, making no attempt to rush the finish. A minute before the round's end, Carlos delivered a knockout blow that switched off the lights for Jingli. Oh no. Applause. In this nightmare, Li probably saw his low social credit after beating one veteran Prius was offered, and another fight against the legendary gatekeeper Neil Magny. Only by defeating him does a fighter prove that he is of the elite level. That same year, Magny defeated the undefeated in the UFC Mike Mallet. Many expected that Magny would take Carlos down and exhaust him by the last rounds, but Carlos decided to ruin all of Mag's plans. He easily blocked takedown attempts, after which he dropped him and very quickly finished off Neil Magny, declaring himself to the entire welterweight division because he only touched Neil, causing him to fall to get knocked out. Do you think Carlos will be able to get to the title by knockouts? If that's not enough entertainment for you, then I'm not sure what would be, though. Actually, I know the main star of the fighting nerds, CA, representing the fighting nerds in the middleweight division, and also the main star of the boys band is Kyo Below. Simply put, he's what we imagined Paulo Costa to be. Giove 100% a smart grappler with solid striking skills and knockout power. Kyo Barala was born in January 1993 in the small Brazilian town of S. Luís. Unlike many Brazilian fighters who come from the poverty of the favelas and difficult childhoods, Below grew up in good conditions. At the age of 6, the hyperactive child was enrolled in a judo class. His mother heard good things about the local coach and thought it would be beneficial for her son. Kyo's grandfather, a math teacher, also instilled in him a love for science. As a teenager, Kyo was deeply interested in math and chemistry, but he carefully balanced his academic studies with sports. By 19, he had achieved significant success in judo, becoming a medalist and champion in various state and national competitions. Baralo even dreamed of becoming an Olympic champion. During one of his matches, his opponent put him in an armbar, resulting in a disappointing loss. His sensei then advised him to incorporate Brazilian jiu-jitsu into his training schedule. Around that time, Below discovered pride in UFC tournaments where his compatriots were shining. He decided he wanted to do the same, so he took up Muay Thai, had a couple of kickboxing matches, and at 21 made his professional MMA debut with only one amateur fight under his belt. From then on, his priorities were set. He left a prestigious university to fully focus on his fighting career. To advance his skills, Kyo moved from his hometown of St. Louis to the larger and more developed S. Paulo, and soon after, he and his coach founded the Fighting Nerds team. I moved to S. Paulo in 2014 when I was training 2 months there in S. Paulo. I met a guy, his name is Bruno Murat. They used to train with Pablo. He came to me and he said, so you want to train striking if you know your striking game and stuff, because I'm only see you training Cly. I was like, yeah, I want to train, so okay, I'm going to pass you this address and I see you there on Tuesday, okay? And then I came to the gym we used to call the combat club team in the school. I had some issues. I was booing in school, and K was a nerd, and some of our athletes also Had the same issues, so we figure out, man. We are kind of nerves, you know, but we are fighting nerves, you know. I made the brand, I made the logo, and the rest is history. Barallo has said that transitioning to MMA helped him overcome childhood fears and insecurities as a kid. Whenever he found himself in a conflict that might lead to a fight, he would always run away. He was deeply afraid of any confront. Even when playing in the street with other kids, if someone picked on him, he would always back down. Kyo grew up with this fear in his mind, so he needed to prove something to himself. Today, Kyo Barallo fights the best fighters in the world and kicks their butts. Barallo began his professional journey in local Brazilian promotions. After his debut, he lost by decision, but he quickly returned to winning ways by finishing his opponent. He then knocked out Luis Carlos Music Alves. Next, Douglas Nascimento finished. But Kyo can win not only by knockouts, he soon choked Luis Carlos Music Applause Music Alves, after which he choked Otavio Sagas Music Go. After these wins, Kyo was signed to Future FC, where he won twice by decision. Music Applause Music Applause Music Applause Music Applause Got Music It. The victory over Yarrow Crows gave Kyo the opportunity to fight for the champion title in Future FC. Below adopted the personas of both McGregor and Diaz. After 2 cautious rounds, he turned up the intensity in the third. His opponent was also willing to pick up the pace, attempting several unsuccessful takedowns, but ultimately finding himself on his back in the championship rounds. KO landed some solid shots and scored a powerful takedown. Although his opponent tried to rally at the end, it didn't affect the outcome. Kyo Barallo claimed victory by unanimous decision, winning his first championship belt at 27. The young dangerous prospect caught the attention of the matchmakers in the